Right, it's time for our guest on this week's podcast. And for this, I think, Jason, because you love him so much,
Yes.
you should introduce our guest.
I would like to introduce to the Gadget Show podcast audience my son, Jackson Bradbury, a.k.a. Res Hex.
What's up, guys?
Res Hex.
That was so cool. You're so cool, bro.
So why have we got your son, Jackson Bradbury, on the show today?
Part nepotism, all right?
Yeah.
But
Is that the majority?
Other part, he's a professional gamer. At the age of 16, his job is gaming.
Jackson, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Professional gamer at 16? How long have you been a professional gamer for?
Full-time gaming, I've been gaming for around 4 years, but properly doing well. I joined esports team around nearly 2 years now, so 2 years is when it's properly been serious.
God, I want to say to you, let me take you back to his childhood.
It's my son over there.
But I can't, you are still in your childhood at 16, Jace.
Sorry,
Sit.
carry on.
Be
Carry
pro,
on.
be pro. How did all this happen? Now, I'm thinking when you were born, you got put into some sort of drawer with lots of gadgets and technical devices, and that is now why you're a gamer. Essentially, is that what's happened with your dad?
So pretty much, we just, in our old house, we had an attic in our roof with, consoles in there. We had, beanbags that we just played games on with our friends whenever they were around. And that's just how it started, really.
I mean, that's one thing. I mean, everybody watching this that used to watch a Gadget Show knows how much your dad was into gaming, and that's sort of a given, I would think, that your kids would grow up, loving
Massively,
gadgets.
all three of them, yeah.
But to become a professional gamer, that is something very, very different. So how did that happen, and when did you know just how good Jackson was then?
Obviously, every kid reckons that nowadays they're going to be a YouTuber, and they're brilliant at gaming, right?
Yeah.
And the gaming question is, of course, Fortnite. We'll get to that in a second. But so many young people or people watching that have got youngsters in their lives will know that Fortnite is this massive game enjoyed by 500 million people worldwide. And that was Jackson's game of choice. He played lots of different games, but that was the one. And of course, he said, I'm going to be a professional gamer when I grow up.
Right.
And obviously, like most parents, I was like, yeah. Good lad, you go for that. But not really taking him seriously. And I didn't take him seriously, if I'm honest. I knew he was pretty handy at it until we were in the car on the way up to a massive gaming festival called Insomnia, which many listeners will know. I know you're aware of it. Happens locally, doesn't it? The NEC. And it's called Insomnia because the idea is that you never sleep, because they actually camp in tents in one of the halls. It's amazing. And they come with these trolleys, and they've got the PCs or the consoles, and they've got the whole gang. And it's also an expo as well. And they do all kinds of competitions. And we're driving along.
And you're going to do like a little job there or something, are you?
I was doing a show there, actually. I was doing a show on stage. And I'd invited Jackson to come up because he loves gaming. He was going to come with us. And he said, Dad, Team XL are going to be there. And I sort of went, oh, cool, yeah. Not knowing what he was on about.
Right.
It's an esports team. And Wolfies is going to be there.
Who?
Oh, yeah. Wolfies. Wolfies. Who's Wolfies?
He was the best player in the world. He recently quit due to wrist injuries, which happens a lot in gaming. But he got second place in the World Cup, which he won 1.3 million, I think it was.
What?
Yeah. The second as well.
He said Wolfies is going to be there.
Yeah.
Apparently there's a competition, and if I get through to the final on Sunday and I beat Wolfies, then I get a prize. And I was like, yeah, you go for it, son, as I was kind of listening to my podcast or whatever, not taking it seriously.
Then what happened?
So then we played some tournament. It was against 5 other people.
It was over 3 days.
Yeah.
And you got into the final.
Yeah. And then in the finals, we played, is it called Zone Wars? And we played against each other. Wolfies was playing, and I won the whole thing. So I won a pair of trainers, custom trainers by XL, which was cool. And then as a little bonus, I got signed to the team.
It's a little bonus. Hang on a minute.
They always jump to the punchline, these youngsters.
Absolutely jump forward there. So hang on a minute. So you're there, you're at the NEC, you've entered this competition to play essentially the world champion, let's say, of Fortnite. And were you nervous? Were you, how did you feel going into this?
I was a little bit nervous. I didn't really know how I'd do. But,
He's 14 at this time, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Shut up.
Sorry about that. Edit that bit out.
Yeah, so a bit nervous. But what happened? As soon as you get into it, that gives you the confidence?
Yeah, to be honest, I'd play the game every day. So I was just used to it. I was just playing. And I managed to beat him.
And so he's on stage somewhere else in the NEC,
Not
in another
taking it
hall.
seriously at all. Yeah.
No. So what point did you know that he was knocking it out of the ballpark?
Okay, here's the thing, actually. This is interesting. Great question. I was on a stand where they had the first Steam Deck.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I hadn't had mine delivered yet, and I was playing the Steam Deck, and I looked at my phone, being an attentive dad, there were like 17 messages that had come in over the last 2 hours that I'd ignored, and they were like, Dad, get Team XL, I'm in the final, I made the final, you must come to the stand. So I went there, and obviously I'm going to be honest, I'm going to bare my soul with you, right? Right, I'm quite used to going to these places and being the big I am. And everyone getting excited. It's the guy from the Gadget Show and all that. So I went along there with my swagger, yeah?
You were giving it the whole, look at me, check me out.
And literally, I watched the last few moments. I filmed it, actually. I filmed the whole process as he beat Wolfies. And I stood there. The cameras came in. The crowd came in. And I was literally squeezed to the back. And no one was in... No one was interested.
Were you like, that's me?
No, hello. Why are the cameras pointing that guy? You pointing the cameras the wrong way. They swept him up. He did interviews. He got these, and these trainers weren't any small deal. They were custom done by an artist to his exact with his logo on it. And then, anyway, long story short, 4 days later, I got a phone call, and it was the guy that would ultimately become his manager, a guy called Freeman, lovely guy. What was then Team XL? It's now called. Giant X, because they've merged with the Spanish team. Their offices are in Shoreditch. I mean, these are big deals. He's sponsored by JD Sports and, Burger King, EE. This is not a small deal. They said, we want to sign your son, but he's the youngest guy we've ever signed. And we had to talk to the local council about, and he did a contract effectively like a West End kid. Like a West End performer, like an actor type thing, and we had to inform his school and everything.
Oh wow!
And then it started, and then that's 2 years ago.
Okay.
And yeah,
can you please pass the mic back to Jackson?
I'll be over here if you need me, though.
Okay,
yeah?
thank you very much. Thank you very much. You just sit there quietly. Be quiet. Quiet. How much of your day is spent playing?
Okay, so pretty much, I wake up 9 o'clock, breakfast. Straight on Fortnite, and then around 1 o'clock I do some content because I make content on TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that. And then
he's got his own editor. He's got his own TikTok editor. That pays for
Stop.
Just over here if you need any assistance.
Sit there. Go and sit in the corner. Just for a minute. Sit there. Simbin. Go on.
And then literally the rest of the day I play Fortnite and I stream it on Twitch as well to my community. And yeah, that's literally the whole day. I play till like 12 o'clock at night, and then I go to bed, and then
100,000 followers. Thank you.
I don't know whose idea this was. So you go basically.
If I promise not to talk, can I sit?
Yes, but
not
just
good for my back.
Can you just? Thank you. So you all day. So what is your job for the team then? Is that to make content for the team?
So I'm signed to make content for the team, and I just make content around Fortnite, just like updates about it, the game, like tournament, like how I've done in tournaments, stuff like that. Videos of me getting some kills, like are really cool and stuff. Yeah, just crazy stuff.
I can ask you a personal question,
Yep.
which might seem a bit gauche, but I know a lot of people out there will be going, well, what does that generate in terms of...
I don't know what that means either, by the way, Jax. It's French.
In terms of income, what do you get paid? You know, if so, like, how much do you get paid, if you don't mind sharing it with us?
So I get paid by my org, a salary. Each month I get paid a certain amount, and then I earn money through tournaments as well. So there's different tournaments in Fortnite. So there's the big one, which is coming up in literally Friday. So I've got to get practicing for that. And that is 7.7 million, I think, prize pool. So yeah.
No wonder...
you see.
No wonder he's smiling. No wonder you're smiling.
Do you need a coffee or anything, son?
Yeah.
How has this turned out for you? Honestly, really.
In all seriousness, I love it because he is living. I'm living vicariously through him. You know
We all are now.
Yeah.
So what are the chances though that you could win that tournament?
So it's 50 teams, so 100 people, 50 duos qualify into the grand finals, which you got to make it through like 4 stages to get into. So there's open, semi-finals, and then finals.
Takes place in an arena, Susie.
Yeah.
with like 15,000 people watching in the arena.
I know it's full on. I've having sort of spent a lot of time in Asia and stuff. I always blows my mind how they make it into such a massive event with people sitting there watching somebody playing effectively. Yeah. But I suppose it's like the old days of watching someone play chess, as a comparison going back, far more exciting. So what's your setup at home then? What have you got? I mean, I can see here you've got what looks like a pretty expensive laptop, particularly for a 16-year-old, but just generally, really.
Yeah, so my laptop, that's for, so when I travel, like I've just been away for the week, I play on my laptop. It's got like the best specs. It's got a 4090 graphics card and like the newest i9 in it. So it's one of the best specs. And then at home, I have 2 PCs. So I have one so I can stream my tournaments without having any lag while I play tournaments and stuff like that. And then I have my main PC, which has like top specs. That's what I game on. Then I have my main monitor, which is 240 hertz, which is like the refresh rate you need to like have to basically play well. Refresh rates are a huge thing because if you're playing on 60 hertz, you can't see stuff as well as you can on 240 hertz.
And then you can't react as quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because reaction times are like the main thing. Because I think the retirement age for gamers is like 22, 21.
That is insane, isn't it?
You've got 6 years to fund your father. Yeah.
But otherwise you're out on your own.
Otherwise, it's the shed. You're back in the drawer.
If you don't win, I don't love you anymore.
I mean, that's a little bit harsh.
Possibly. Mm-hmm. That's not what I think. Just in case that was a joke. But the thing I was going to say is I used to find it amazing that footballers were kind of finished at 35 or whatever it is.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Yeah, and again, like the technology, the exponential rate of the humans are now being phased out earlier. Based on the sort of digital nature of how they're competing. I think it's absolutely extraordinary.
So in a digital world, you've got to make your money early in this field because of, as you're talking about reactions. I mean, I can compare it to something I know a lot about, motorcycle races. Obviously, the older you get, the balls get closer to you and your reactions get slower. I'm guessing whilst it's not as dangerous playing games, it is all about being able to focus. So what do you think? You might not know the answer to this because you probably just do it, but what is it that enables you to focus 100% on what you're doing? How immersive is your setup, and how important is that immersion?
So when I'm playing, to like keep myself locked into the game, I turn off my left monitor so I can't see anything on that, and it just kind of locks me in. And they got something called flow state, and when you get into that, that's like your best state in a tournament. So you're playing your best. That's when like no distractions, nothing. You just locked in, and that's like when you perform in the grand finals and stuff like that. That's like the key. So
this flow state. Yeah. How do you get yourself into it? Because we don't always feel like switching ourselves on to 100%. So do you have any help with that?
Yeah. So I have 2 coaches. I have.
Two coaches?
Wait, sorry, is this right?
No, go on.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. So I have 2 coaches. One is called Sven and one is called Pappy. So Sven is my in-game coach. So he helps me with say I do something wrong. He tells me you did that bad, do this instead. So
it's like the technical side of it. Yeah.
So in Fortnite, there's zones. So there's a massive map and the zones make the map go smaller. It's a storm and the storm will kill you if you're in it. So it slowly gets smaller and smaller, so you can't touch the zone. So you got to rotate around the map. So a rotation device is where you have something like a grapple. So you shoot it and it will pull you forward. But there's none of that in this season. So what he'll say is as soon as the zone closes, you need to run straight away to get into the next zone.
So while you're playing, he's talking to you in your ear.
Yeah. So and he does offline coaching as well, when we're not in a tournament. Where he'll just talk to us about new strategies and stuff like that. But yeah, live coaching, he'll be telling us while we're in the tournament what to do in it.
So he's kind of let's relay that to a football coach, for example. So you'll get tactics and everything from him beforehand, and you'll talk about what could possibly happen and what you should do. And then while you're playing, he's in your ear helping you. Yeah. So you're having to split your brain and be in the flow state to do really well.
Yeah.
And what about your other coach then?
Some other coaches on
What's
the
his
more
name?
mental
Pappy?
side. Yeah, Pappy.
Okay.
He's more on the mental side. So he's working on the more disciplined side, and he makes me just like stick to a schedule. So my brain is like more disciplined. So I'm working harder and harder.
But is there a point where, you know, because obviously you can't just keep on working. Does he ever say to you, right, you need to chill out and go and do something and relax?
He says it to me or his mom. So he'll send us a text privately. Jackson doesn't know this. I'm not revealing it. He doesn't know. Okay. But he'll say, look, I feel he's too intense. He's been on it for 7 days now. He's not been out or he's not done, you know, X. And he'll encourage, because of course we live in Cornwall, so he'll say, I need to go surfing. Or the phrase they use is touch grass, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Keep your feet on the floor, effectively, turf.
Yeah.
Just to do something human that's not looking at a screen.
Correct. And he talks to his mom about, because obviously my wife is a nutritional therapist. And so he'll ask what he's been eating, because he'll notice patterns of behaviour. He's used to working with young people. He knows that they like sweet drinks and chocolate and all the rest of it. And he'll make sure that his intake is right. And I mean, a bit like the sport that you understand, the sports stars that you work with, the same thing, anything that gives them an edge.
See, this is probably fascinating for me, and I'm sure it is for anybody listening, that you need to have the right nourishment, the right amount of sleep, the right nutrients to be able to play a game online. Yeah. And at this level, is it about small percentages? Is it that gets you to the top, do you think?
Yeah, so say I didn't have any sleep on a tournament night. I think sleep is one of my biggest factors in playing well or not. Because if I don't have sleep, I play terrible. Like there was one day I didn't have sleep. I didn't even qualify for the easiest tournament. It's that detrimental. I think it just slows your brain down, and you just don't think like you would on full sleep.
A bit of a mum question, this possibly. Like, did you have any concerns when you realised how good Jackson was, and that obviously he would be going on to it full time, in terms of just, you know, getting out there and doing normal teenage things and stuff
like that? You
would
think, knowing me like you do, and my love of gaming, that I would have been like, go, 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 son, gaming. But is that true?
No.
No, I stepped outside myself as a dad and was very aware of the need for all of my kids to have a balanced life and to foreground, you know, grass, real life interactions over digital ones. So actually, I faced a bit of a challenge coming to terms with it. Me and Jax are into going to the gym, so we like to do that, and I'm always really I'm stopping him doing certain moves because I'm aware how easy it is, even to have a kind of moderate injury, because especially now is the most important time of the year for Fortnite. In fact, maybe Jackson, you'd like to tell Susie why.
Yeah, like the tournament I was talking about earlier, FNCS. So if you make it to the grand finals, then that is a qualifier to the globals. So the globals will be in September at Dallas. So you get flown out, everything like that if you qualify. So this time you have to get top 5 in the grand finals to qualify to the globals. And then in 2 months, it's top 10 in the grand finals to qualify. So that's what I'm aiming for, the top 10. Because because I have time and I just need to perfect more stuff and just become a better player.
And is that your dream?
Yeah.
Jackson Bradbury, thank you so much. It's been really fascinating talking to you. I can't wait to see what happens. So good luck with the qualification for FNCS. And if you get through to the final in Dallas, what?
I think we should go with him, do you?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I was just going to say. We should do a special podcast and follow you and all go to Dallas.
Yeah, no pressure, son.
No. So we're all coming with you. No, we'll be quiet. I'll keep him out the way.
Yep.
Unless you want him to service anything or sort anything out.
Coffees.
And exactly. I'll do the coffees. I can do that bit.
Yeah.
But and until then, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know how you managed to create somebody so intelligent. Before we go, I just want to give a little bit of love to this absolute beauty. So what I'm looking at now and what I'm touching and sliding my hands down is a quarter arcade game, Space Invaders. Quarter because it's the quarter of the size of the arcade games that we used to play in the 70s and 80s. This is Space Invaders, but it's identical to the bits on the top, the little sticker on the front.
That sticker on the front of that Space Invaders is circa 1970 whatever.
Yeah.
Exactly like that.
Exactly. So if you used to play this, if you used to play Space Invaders, you will love this. It's by Numbskull. They make a few of them actually, Jace, as you well know. But what's brilliant about it is the screen.
It's
so beautiful.
And you know why, don't you?
Because the graphics.
It's because of the Pepper's Ghost thing.
Oh, yes, it is. Just explain that.
On the original, the CRT or the cathode ray tube screen, which you'll remember the great big lumps of TVs we had in the house, these were the same. But rather than you playing the machine and that screen being orientated towards you, on the Space Invaders, it was situated in the bottom of the cab, looking up.
Yeah.
And then they had a Pepper's Ghost piece of glass, is it 45 degrees? And then they put graphics on the glass so that you got a kind of almost three-dimensional screen with a bit of colour on it. That's the idea.
That was the feeling of it, wasn't it?
Yes.
And that's what you get with this.
Yes, they've done it in the pretend one, yeah.
Love it.
I tell you what is brilliant about this range as well, is that they also do, and you'll think I'm making this up, carpet.
What do they do carpet for?
So that you can make your own miniature arcade. And they do little stools and a bin. And like a Pepsi machine that functions as a USB charger for the actual games.
And on that retro note,
it is a
that's
retro
all we've got
note,
time for.
isn't it? And I almost don't want to finish. I've loved every second of this, sitting here with you. You're a superstar.
Like, what?
Absolutely brilliant. No, I've loved it. It's been absolutely smashing. I've really, really enjoyed it. And if you've enjoyed it a lot, then I've got news for you. If you can't wait for the next episode of the Gadget Show podcast with Susie and Jason, then you need to be a Patreon sub.
Yeah, because you could watch it right now.
You can see it right now. If you've not already signed up to Patreon, it's available for you to watch. Is it a week early?
Yep.
I think it is. There's also other kind of benefits. And
Loads
stuff.
of other content.
Behind the
and stuff like
scenes footage.
Yep.
Exclusive videos that we do. Stuff that maybe doesn't make it into the edit. You can see that too.
And you can also come along here as well if you sign up for the top tier.
Yeah, that's the max tier. And you're right to bring it up, Susie, because that means you can actually sit inside the studio. You can hang out with us and chat to us. We'll show you lots of love. And it's really, really important because it's one of the ways that we're funding this project and we want it to continue.
Yeah, be part of the gang. And another way of being part of the gang is let us know exactly what you'd like to cover. So if you've seen a fantastic gadget or some technology, you'd like to know more about it, tell us, let us know on X, Facebook, wherever.
Yeah.
Whatever your channel
it's called
is.
now.
Just send us a message and we'll have a look at it for you.
All right.
See you soon.
See you later.
The Gadget Show podcast with Jason and Susie was presented by Jason Bradbury and Susie Perry off the telly. It was produced by Ewan Keel and Tom Clint and is a North One production.